they kind of thought that the fighting thing is a personal thing, but to let them know, and you are right, it's a good disciplinary sport to get into because it disciplined me as a person as well. Like, because I was pretty wild and I was pretty fiery at times, just you wouldn't go out and stuff like that. And but then the sport kind of just like really disciplined me as a person as well. So through the years, I learned to calm down and then I thought about my fight career because in order to do the fight career thing is I had to be disciplined in normal society. Like say, if I go to if I go out with my wife and my kids and stuff, and where I had to I meet up with people in confrontations and stuff like that, I kind of learned to like just walk away from it and be the better man and just
Sully,
turn the other way.
You're not in your 20s anymore.
I know it's very hard for a Māngere boy to walk away from conversations, but hey, I had to think about all that stuff, while being in this new sport. So, in a way, yeah, it really disciplined me as a person. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that because, like you said, as a Māngere South Auckland guy, you think they'll lose your temper. But saying that, because, when our, let's say, early 30s, because, they kind of like, through age, we kind of like, kind of mature a lot more. So, and it's cool that you say that because I've seen a lot of wild guys and they always like cool and calm in their 30s and that, but it's only common sense for not only if you're Māngere or Otara or Manarua, it's quite the norm, in those early, 15-year-old, 18-year-old days, where you're a bit loose and you're a bit fear boko. But the good thing is you learn from it, and then
that's right.
That's what makes you, a better person or not a better person or a better player or a better fighter, and you have something to reflect upon. Where some people that are like fear boko for no reason, when they didn't have it hard, it's totally different, So that's good on you because anyone that knows this guy, I tell you, this guy used to get into rumbles all the time. Like sometimes I didn't want to tackle this guy because I know, oh man, we might end up in having a rumble, man, And then if something happened there that I do, then the other four players would jump in, and your brother was pretty infamous himself, and he had Afa and Sini in them, and then they all jump in, then our team would jump in, So no, there's always those certain guys you always looked out for when you're a young fella, and you're definitely one of them.
Yeah, I mean, with the league thing, and they got the old saying in league, what goes on the field stays on the field, and
hard.
That is it was nothing personal because it's pretty hard because we are pretty competitive people,
Yeah, exactly.
Growing up in South Auckland, where we didn't really get any recognition from the Auckland Rugby League, and and we felt that we had something to prove at that time, at that age, and but as the saying goes, what goes on the field stays on the field, and I think people just it was just a stigma around me and myself and my brothers and the people that we used to play with, and it kind of just the reputation sort of stuck with us. But we're generally we're good people, and just like everyone else, it's just very competitive people. Like yourself, that's just us being South Aucklanders. I'm growing up in Māngere, competitive people, So, but now looking back at it now, and as you brought it up, it's just some real out of it memories, and it's just, I didn't really think about it like that. But now that you said it, and it's just was I that stupid, or was I that?
No, because it was just the battle of the Māngere teams. Because we both represented opposite clubs, but we were the top two teams, and during their time, and we was next door neighbours, and that's just the normal beef. But the thing with league, I see with league, I can see the way you fight. I can see a lot of your league skills within your in your fighting game. You know, did you did you train for that, or did that come naturally? Because I see some of your flying kicks, and for a big unit, you know, you actually you're quite mobile, you know. So did some of your leg skills?
I mean, like my good friend Mark, he he got me into the sport, and you know, just like himself, he was an awesome league player as well. And that's just a natural Polynesian thing with us. You know, any sport that we can turn into, you know, we can just take it and embrace it, and you know, we can make it our own. But the thing is, coming from a league background, you know, being light on our feet, you know, was essential. Like being, you know, quick on our feet was essential, like to the sport, and we kind of just taken it into this sport and sort of modified it and just made it ourselves, you know, and do it the way we think it's, you know what I mean? So, but in saying that, I should have, when learning all of this, all of the training as well, like nutrition and getting your body fit and getting your body prepared for the sport, I should have, you know, I think nowadays I should have, I think back and I think, man, why didn't I know all this stuff when I was playing footy, you know, when I was playing league? Because, it's just a totally different, just another level of fitness as well, you know, and I'm very fortunate that I've learned all of this stuff that I did learn and I have learned in the MMA scene, just things that I should have added to my league playing years, but hey, you know, it is what it is, and but what I'm doing now is I'm just handing over that knowledge that's been handed over to me, and I'm giving it back to the community, like teams, like rugby league teams. As you all know, that the grappling thing is in the sport, but it's probably just the way it got introduced this time. It kind of there was a bad stigma against it, but all of this is educating these league players on how to make themselves, how to shift their weight while they're on the ground and stuff like that. You know, strength and conditioning wise, like training their bodies to pushing your bodies to the limit to do the sport. I mean, the rugby league is a physical sport, and some of the young boys here don't realize it until they at an older age of 23, 24, when it's a little bit too late for the NRL. You know, it's too late for them to even consider it, because as soon as they hit their age, they don't bother looking at you. You know, I'm trying to what I'm doing now, coming back here in Māngere and opening up my gym, is I'm trying to grab all these teams that I used to play with and I used to play against with, and just giving them a bit of a heads up and trying to get all their young boys educated in this ground game stuff. It betters them in their game, like in their footy game. So that's all I'm doing, and all I'm doing is just handing over knowledge, the wealth of knowledge that's been taught to me, and just giving it back to our community and helping these teams out and helping these boys try and, you know, make something of themselves in contracts, in the NRL contracts. You know, coming from a league background and the MMA background, you know, I know both sides of the coin, so I know what to expect, and I know how to push these Polynesian boys, because hey, I just look at them and I just think, man, that was me back in the days. Like, at least there's something, you know, at least there's someone like myself here trying to help these boys out and to bettering their game, and you know, making something of themselves, other than just, you know, go and get a pat on the back every Saturday after the game. You know, when that's what we used to get over.
Hard pat on the back, or one box between 20 of these.
Exactly. You know, and good luck if you get another bottle. You know. Hard. You know, so it's like, it's just trying to give back to the community and better these young boys, and getting them into the right frame of mind as well as in nutrition as well. I mean, I know, you know, when I bumped into you the other day, you know, I hadn't seen you in years, and far out, and you know, sorry, but that's just the way I am when I see my
hard
friends, and I see them, I let them, you know, when I see them let themselves go, and I think, man, you know, you can eat your chocolate cake, but you just got to work hard. You got to work hard and
make some sacrifices,
that level. Yeah, exactly, bro. But that's my thing right now is just I'm just trying to help our community and thinking healthy, thinking health for their kids, if they have kids, and try and stick around a little bit longer for them. So yeah.
So that's cool because I noticed that both your genres of sport, they both pay dividends to each other. So the league has come into play, but saying that, now it's good because when I hear now, you know a lot about nutrition and what you should be eating and shouldn't eating, and like you said, like how you can eat your cake, but you still gotta like work at it.
You work hard. That's right.
Yeah. But during your league days, if you had the same knowledge, did you have that same knowledge back then about your health intakes and your eating?
No way, but it was just it was what mom and dad cooked. If it was the ugupuā or the kalo, Soviet, there was no restrictions, back in our day, as you would know, being brought up in a Samoan, typical Samoan family.
Yeah.
There was no restrictions on eating. We had no one there to guide us through, nutrition and stuff like that. I kind of learned all of this stuff about, keeping your body healthy and nutrition and stuff like that. I kind of just learned it all while doing the game, because doing the fight game, because I had to. You more or less are lying to yourself if you are going to be doing that stuff to contaminate your body, because in the fight game it's just a totally different fitness altogether, and all it is it's just giving out a bit of knowledge and letting these young boys know that, hey man, you can have your first bar or whatever, but you just got to work hard at it, and you have to get your body to that extreme and to the peak, to its peak. And that's but I never knew anything about that kind of stuff when growing up and playing league. It was all hard and all. I think it was just a bloodline, Samoan and being raised in South Auckland, and I think that's what pushed me through anyway. So
because out in Sydney, did you pick up the health regime in Sydney? Did you pick up the health regime in Sydney?
Yeah, I did. I had a good friend, my trainer for many years, me and Mark's trainer for many years, David Wolishi. He was brought up in South Auckland, but he had lived in Sydney for years, and he knows exactly what our bodies are, because obviously he is a Samoan, straight from here, and but the discipline that he had had passed it over to me and Mark, and try and think nutrition, because we love our food, you can't take that away. But
that's Polynesians,
what he did was he got us into the frame of mind of just changing our eating habits by trying to eat at least 6 to 7 times a day to speed up your metabolism, because your metabolism is only fast in the morning, and then once the afternoon, the day winds down, it starts to slow right down. So he got us. He got me onto this eating, changing, not eating, watch what you eat, but just change your eating habits and try and eat 7 times a day, and eating them in portions and not in big meals. Because obviously, if you eat only twice a day,
which is pretty much everyone does, eh? Yeah, because a lot of Polynesians just do that,
Exactly, and that's what you have to do in order to speed the metabolism up, and just think health, and you can still have your sport day, which is a Sunday. I just use the Sunday as Kongai Day, where where you can all let your hair down and just go hard, But then Monday rocks around, and back to the routine, But through that eating habit, you have to put in the hard training as well, like the exercising every day, like going into the gym, and I just learned through, as a fighter, that I had to put my body through
That's cool. Because, Solly, I'll tell you what, if you had that knowledge back in your league days, you would have definitely cracked the NRL.
Oh, for sure, brother. I mean, for sure. I mean, I actually got invited before the actual Warriors formed, you know.
Yeah.
There was a few of us, we did get invited for the development squad.
Yeah.
And that was in 2004, but, you know, being around friends and the boys that I had at the time, and, you know,
Yeah.
You know,
I know what you mean.
It was like, it was like, oh man, stuff that, you know, after the season, and you would know, after the season, summer rocks around, you know, all beers and partying, you know.
Yeah.
So, not only that, that played a big part of kind of where my league career sort of just kind of went pear-shaped because I didn't make the right decisions back then, you know. But then when the Warriors did form, and here goes these guys that we used to run all over on the field every Saturday. Now they're in the Warriors, and here's me going, oh my God, I should have just bloody went, you know. But, hey, it is what it is.
Hard. I always tell my missus, hey, you know, I had Roy Asatasi, his name's on my stomach, you know, Fufu Momo, you know, his name's on my stomach, you know. But it's cool because what you do back then, you're right, because there's such a drinking culture within the league and that. And that's why I wanted to ask you, like, with the MMA is, do you, like, you know how you're talking about the eating meals and the half meals and that, so therefore, would you have like a cheat drink meal? Would you drink once a week or something like that?
Yeah, because you gotta remember, you know, we're only human. I mean, some fighters or some people like just a little bit too by the book. I mean, you know, you can't, you know, for me, you know, you can take the boy out of the South Auckland, but you know, you can't really take the South Auckland out of the boy. So I'm not saying that drinking is a good thing, but hey, you know, we're all adults and we've got a better head on our shoulders nowadays, and it's all kind of in moderation.
You know,
you know, I'm not saying that drinking is good, but I'm just saying that it's like if it's in moderation and you're keeping healthy and you're exercising regularly, man, you know, you can do what you can do, like the eating thing. Like I said before, it's like you can have your chocolate cake, but you just got to work hard. You know, so when I do, like what I do is I earlier in my career, what I did was I was on lockdown, where whenever the boys rung up for, you know, a bit of a drink up or whatever, you know, I had to have the willpower to say no, you know, because, you know, because these are the same guys that come and watch me fight, and that's my story back to them. I can't reverse psychology back to them, saying, look, you guys are going to come and watch my next fight, right? And they go, yeah. And I said, you want your brother to, you know, you want me to settle and get hammered while watching? And they go, nah, man, well, this is why I can't come out tonight. And they go, true. And then, you know, they let me be, you know, because, so I put myself down lockdown when I do have a fight or prepare for a fight. So like I said, it's all in moderation, you know, so I do keep my eye on the prize. So in order for me to succeed, you know, you got to make some sacrifices. So and drinking is a part of that sacrifice. So you know, you got to make sacrifices in order to, you know, in order to succeed. So
harder. And I know what you mean, because the pressures, you know, when the boys say, oh, come on, man, come for a drink, man, you just finish a fight, or you just finish training, or...
The peer pressure, bro. For sure.
And that's cool, because, you know, you know, I knew you from back in the days, and, you know, and it's good to see you evolve. You know, I would say mature, because you've evolved a lot, you know, even your physique and your fighting game, and it's cool, because, you know, you're still like you're in your bloody late 20s, mate, you know?
Say that because when I first come back, and some of the boys there, we used to play topside for Māngere, they're all like almost 40 and that, and they're all just like begging me to come and play for their their masters team. So and I'm going, masters team, what's this I've seen my head up for 35 years and over.
Yeah.
And I'm going, mate, if I was to come and play footy, if I was to come back and play footy, I wouldn't be playing in the Masters, I'll be playing on the top side.
I reckon, man. Especially the now game. Yeah. Yeah. But it's easy, but all the time, man. Come on. Because I know what you mean, because, you know, when you haven't seen some other dudes in a while, man, people look grown up and shit, you know. So, you know, and because you're still in the game and you're still, like, active, like, monthly, weekly, yearly. So it's cool because you still look, you know, you still look hot.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. So, in my sport, you have to try and evolve, like you said, evolve. And the thing is that I'm not getting any younger, so I have to try and stay on top of my game for these young boys that are coming through. So, as you would know, I fought last week. The guy that I fought, I think I was 10 years older than him.
Yeah.
But you know, in order to stay on top of my game, I have to be honest to myself and train hard and do what I got to do. So that's all I have to try and do is try and just stay on top of my game. And you know, a lot of the ultras come and see me, they haven't seen me in a while. They just think, "Oh man, you look good," but I don't look at it like that. You know, I just think, you know, I honestly don't. I just look at it just as long as I'm on top of my game, it's all good. You know,
Yeah, hard.
I mean, you know, I don't walk around saying, "Oh, look at me." No. That's just the nature of what I do now. So, and I'm constantly training because obviously I train people and I motivate them. So you know, you gotta be true to your to your game. You gotta practice what you preach. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, I could be 180 kilos right now if I wanted to, and try and teach people how to be eating right and how to stay fit. But then they look at me and they go, "Wait a minute, he's 180 kilos. What would you do?" You know, so you have to stay on top of your game, and you have to be true to yourself and true to the people. So that's probably why I just stay the way I am and try and be healthy and fit for my kids as well for the future. So
yeah, no doubt, because and I appreciate that, but you know, it's cool to see you evolving that way, and also to see you as like a student become the teacher. You know, what made you like step into that arena and wanted to teach the youth and offload a bit of knowledge? What made you like step into that arena?
It was about 6-7 years ago. I had a good friend of mine, originally from Repfm. His name is Joe Tong.
Oh yeah.
He found out that I moved into Blacktown because I bought property in Blacktown around that time, and I was looking at just training in the local gym because driving to Mark's gym for about a good 7 years straight was taking its toll, and my brother understood, you know, and that I needed something closer. So what I did was I just went into a local gym that's just starting out, and I kind of used my status to try and help him build his gym. And from 30 members of his when he first started out, in 6 months' time became 150 members.
Sure.
Then a year became 250 members. So I kind of just and I kind of just fell into teaching because what I did was I started teaching at his gym and starting trying to motivate these young boys. So my good friend Joe, we crossed paths again, years around that time, and he was doing a youth program in Blacktown, trying to clean up Blacktown. So what had happened was he came, we touched base, and then I told him, look, I'll hold a free class for these youth, these troubled youth for him. And so he brought in these kids, these troubled kids that use that lift, brought them through, and I kind of showed them that, you know, don't think that he's, what your situation that you're in, don't let it bring you down, you know, there is more to life than just whatever you're in, you know. So I kind of just helped him along the way there, and we kind of got built a little bit of a culture there where he'll bring these boys and I will teach them and show them a good path, and these boys got inspired and made good things in life for themselves later down on the track. So that kind of, and then it kind of domino affected through the whole community, and then we just kind of opened up this called Switch. It was a hip hop dance program.
Yeah.
Where we showed these kids that they don't have to go and dance out in the dark in the car park and get chased by securities and cops when they can come and dance in the light, in the light. So we called the program Switch, so being a switch, the switch for the light.
Yeah. Hard.
And it made headlines through the whole of Australia and Channel 9 News, and we were making an impact on these children, these troubled youth, and from there, and then 5 years on, our program was like live and well, and I was still doing the free service for these kids youth and teaching people in the community and making our community come together. So that's how I fell into the whole teaching thing, and teaching fighter development as well within the gym.
Yep.
So helping young boys that wanted to take on the sport and trying to help them up, get a kickstart in their careers. And so my whole thing is in the community, and I like to help the community, and it was, if I could do that in a foreign country, in someone else's community, I surely can do it in my own community now that I moved back. So when I first moved back, hearing that South Auckland didn't have a MMA gym or didn't have a youth program where that holds that and inspires these young boys, like cause we were all the same like that. We were in their shoes as well. So all they need is a bit of guidance and a bit of lease of life, and let them know that, hey, don't think these wars are confined. Don't think that there's nothing beyond these wars. That there is things out there. You just need to put your mind to it and try and inspire them and try and use their energy and all the bad energy that they have and try and lead it to the right direction. And so that's how it all came about, and that's why I'm here today. I'm thinking, if I can do that over there, and now I'm back home in my own community where I grew up, I surely can do it here. So,
hard. That's for sure. And it's good because, now that you're a student turned into a teacher, and I see your son, he looks like the next big thing. Did he play a role when you wanted to become a teacher? Father, son, teacher, student, did he help you want to, also pursue their goal?
I never try and, my son, he's been a big help. I'll tell you right now, I had nothing like my son. When I was at his age, good luck if you find me at home.
Harder.
But it's just the way it is, bringing up a teenager, or bringing up my son through all these years, and trying to break the cycle, trying to break the cycle from how we were brought up.
Exactly.
Our parents weren't as fortunate, so, we just got to try and break the cycle and try and give them, opportunities in life that we didn't have.
Exactly.
When we were at their age.
Whilst we want to be checking, food from the library of Repfm Primary, with your bro Dennis and that, so.
Standing over the white boys at school.
Hard. So it's cool that you've stepped into that zone, not just for new students to come, but your son, and I bet you having your boy would have changed your game around. And Sully, he looks nearly bigger than you, man. So how are you is he gonna be the next Fob Father?
Oh man, it's funny you say that because my son's been sparring me.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen footage of you two sparring.
He was like 13 years old. He is a pretty big boy for his age.
Yeah, hard.
And all the gyms that we've been training at through the years, people tend to forget that he's my son. They just think, oh my gosh, that's right, Pastor, your son. I'm going, oh no, he's my little brother. People just, it's just the way it is, my son loves what he does, and I don't try and push it on him. I don't try and make him, hey, follow your dad's footsteps. It's the key thing for him is education, and he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders. He is pretty mature for his age, and he's way beyond. Way beyond his years, and
must be from the mother side, eh?
the brain from the mother side.
Yeah. Because well, from what I've seen, I mean, he looks quite quiet, eh? But you know, the quiet ones are the ones to look out for, eh?
Yeah, no, he's very reserved. He's very reserved. My 11-year-old, the family compares my son to my brother, Theo, Theo.
Yeah.
Theo he's very reserved as well, you know.
Yeah.
But my 11-year-old, he's out there. He's a bit like he takes my street. So my 11-year-old is out there just like his dad. But he has my oldest son, Terrence. He is pretty reserved, and everyone says that he takes after my brother. So yeah.
So your brother was pretty hard fought, but he was like he always had your back, man. He was always in there, eh?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you know, that's what older brothers do. You know, just like yourself. You know, when you have, you know, I know your older brothers. I mean, they always got your back. You know,
hard.
No matter what you do or where you go.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they're always going to be there. And yeah, you know, and it was, you know, because our years were almost close, kind of just made it. You know, I didn't really have a set of friends. His friends were my friends, and you know, but yeah, as we grow up, you know, we mature, and you know, and
So what's it? So now that you're back in New Zealand, is this your first venture as owning your own gym?
Yes, it is. But in saying that, it kind of just, I didn't just wake up one night and go, oh, you know, now it's time to do it. It kind of the youth phase. Looking at all my friends work in the youth, and that's one of my passions, you know, is youth and training people and motivating people. So coming here and seeing that South Auckland didn't have a gym where that will cater for the youth, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something about it, and I'm going to try and I'm finally going to open up a gym, and where I'm going to do all that, where I'm going to teach these youth that there is a way out of whatever they're in, the situation they're in, motivate all these people in my community about nutrition, about weight loss. So I just thought, you know, I'll just take the opportunity and I might as well start this thing up. And it's always been a dream. And yeah, now slowly the dream is turning into reality. So yeah, I'm very fortunate coming back home and really just embracing all of the, you know, all of this that's happening, and yeah, at the same time connecting with my community, because I'm all about the community.
You
know, people ring up and inquire about the gym, and they think, oh, it's just only, they think it's only a fighter's gym. I say no, that is just part of one aspect of my gym, which is the fighter development. But no, my gym is a community gym. So just in case that people, you know, get the wrong idea and think, you know, I'm trying to condone violence and I'm trying to, you know, teach these young boys or these young folk, you know, violence. No, I just want everyone to know that, and you will know, and people know me, you know, the way I train people, I'm really motivating, and I like to motivate my people. So,
because I was reading some of your rules. And it says that always look at the head trainer when he's talking to you, no swearing, no intimidation, no hat. So it's cool that, you know, you have those rules there, and you know, and it's cool that you have put out those rules, because you know when you're young and that rules, they didn't apply. But now in the 2000s, this ain't the 1990s or the 1980s, and it's cool to see everyone mature and also evolve. And so congratulations on your gym, you know, because not much people, was that your plan when you came back from Sydney, Blacktown, you know, because everyone pretty much knows you, you know, so, you know, you didn't have to drop too much info, you know, you've been in the fight game for a while, you've got, under 16 MMA fights under your belt, or TKOs, you know, and you've done quite well. So, when you were coming from Sydney, was that your goal, was to come back to Māngere and start your own gym?
No, like I said, it wasn't in any of the teachings of mine, but it was something that was needed, and I just thought, you know, just seeing the way it is back here, and I just thought, you know, like the community needed something like this. Hence the reason why I thought, you know what, I'm gonna quit my day job, for now, and I'm going to try and make this work and try and help these people and help our young folk and to try and get into the stuff and try and motivate these young people and but it wasn't a plan of mine. It wasn't a plan. There was no plan behind it. It was all just witnessing, coming back home and just seeing how it is here. And I just think, it's unfortunate that South Auckland doesn't have something like this for our kids and for our community. So I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna devote my time to try and make this happen, and the help of my wife and her family, her sister, my sister-in-law, really helped me get this thing up and going, and they believed in me from day dot, and now it's all happening, and I'm very fortunate, and I'm very happy to be home as well. So just connecting with all our community, man. It's good to see, So
it's good that anybody off the street, who actually look up to you and aspire to become a fighter like you, that can actually get a hold of you at your gym. And that's at the MMA Pound. Just what's on drop us the address there?
It's 121 bar 22, Andrew Baxter Drive.
Andrew Baxter, yeah.
Ascot.
And that's the second street off Ascot,
Yeah, that's the one.
So see, that's what I mean, and it's cool that anyone can just get a hold of you right there, and you can aspire to be this guy. And like you said, you don't just train fighting, or do you do a lot of cardio?
Exactly. It's not only just that. It's everything. Like I said, I'm a community gym, and I just want everyone to know that don't think that don't be shy to come here. I mean, because my gym is a family-orientated gym. We actually live here in our gym.
Nice.
Not many people are fortunate to live in their own gym, but I am very fortunate, and I'm blessed to live in my gym and have my business run, or have my community program run from my home. So I'm very fortunate, and I'm very blessed to be back home and try and inspire our people and try and get something started. So
you had. And it's cool that you have a wet weather training option too for those teams that want to come down. If it's raining, the weather tonight is quite shocking, so they can actually come down to your gym and actually book a sitting.
Yes. I've sent out emails to all the rugby league and league teams and rugby teams in Auckland. They let the weather rain their training sessions out. If they book in, go onto our Facebook page. All the information is there. And if they want to get a booking in, I don't only do the weather thing. I do the strength and conditioning building, team upper body strength building for their game. So they can just come down or look up our Facebook page, follow us on Facebook, and they'll see all the information that they will need for their teams or whatever.
Oh, nice. So you can actually get to Felise The Fob Father at the MMA Pound, and that's their Facebook page. So give it a like over to their page. And so before we cruise in that, I mean, what words would you have any young up and comers if they wanted to pursue, any career, whether it be league or kickboxing, MMA? What words would you have for them?
The words I will have for them is to keep your eye on the prize and just to let them know that where there's a way, there's a will. All right.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Don't quit anything. I want you to quit. If you are smokers, quit smoking. Never quit because hey, I've done it. I quit smoking.
Yeah.
And to pursue that.
How long ago was that?
That was when I first started kickboxing. That was my drive.
Oh,
my
awesome!
Drive was,
too much.
In order for me to succeed, I had to make some sacrifices. Then quitting smoking was the biggest sacrifice, and it was good because now I'm like a preacher, so to speak. So
yeah, I know what you mean.
Please quit smoking because it's not good for you, right? Because you're only cheating yourself. So
hard.
Yeah, for those young boys out there, be true to yourself. Train hard. Get inspired. Get inflicted. So
Yeah,
the only way to know is to give it a go. So.
It's sort of, and there's some things you just can't be taught. You know, that's why I like when I see you play footy back in the days, and I've seen you fight in that. I can tell that there's a lot of heart and there's a lot of blood bleeding from their heart, and that's passion. There's some things you can't teach, but in order to do your thing, it's cool to be to learn the Palangi ways and the westernized ways of actually, you know, doing the training, doing the fitness, doing the eating. Because, you know, for a lot of islanders out there, no matter if they're Samoan, Tongans, Raras, Nuans, or whatever, you know, and even because every neighborhood has a South Auckland, whether it's out west, east, or north. But just putting those things aside and wanting to do better for yourself, you know, that's quite a task in itself. And Sully, I gotta congratulate you because, you know, you've been there, you've done it, and Sully, you're still doing it because, you know, you won your fight last week at Ellerslie, so congratulations to that also. You know, and now you're on to the next King of the Ring, huh?
Yep, King of the Ring on the 20th of June.
20th of June.
Next month on the 20th, so people just, get down if you want to get down to the MMA town, if you want tickets and stuff like that. It'll be on sale starting probably in the next couple of weeks. So, but yeah, I have to train a lot harder now. So now that I'm in there, so I have to try and, you know, stay true to myself as well. So.
Awesome. And Sully, I saw some footage of their fight, man, and he had some good followers, and Sully, it looked like, you know, they had a nice table there. I saw them get on the drinks and that. It's going, man, shucks. Man, I should have bloody came to that fight, man, damn.
Hey, we might have to cut out a deal then. We might have to come, you know, get your radio station down here. And
yeah, hard.
We have to get a corporate table or something, right?
Yeah, harder. Yeah, no, for sure. So, Sully, do you have any shout-outs before we leave?
I'd like to shout out to everyone in South Auckland and wherever you are in Auckland. I mean, I just want everyone to know, just get inflicted, man. Get inflicted. If you're the average Joe blog that's sitting on the couch right now, you know, and you think that it's the end for you, you know, it's not the end, man. Just come out, come to the MMA town, and I will inspire you. So, yeah.
Shuffle that.
I'd like to shout out to you know, my brother and everyone here in Sydney, all my friends in Sydney, we miss dearly and has been the backbone of me and my family support for years, and all my family here in Auckland, and you, my brother, you know, for all these years, you know, it was good to see you, man. It was good on seeing you, man.
Yeah, likewise,
awesome.
Nah, sure. Thanks for having me, Musa. It's been quite an honor. You know, I just feel like I just talked to, like, you know, one of Tupac's brothers or something, you know? I just talked to the Outlaws or something.
I forgot to mention my wife, my beautiful wife, Eileen, and my boys, man. They are my backbone, and they are the reason why I do what I do. So, yeah, big shout out to them, love them dearly.
And I really appreciate it because I know you got a class and session right now that, you know, your son, the next Fob Father, you know, is actually taking right now. So thanks to your son for taking the opportunity to, you know, give his father to talk to Repfm, a live and exclusive. And so we're actually recording the show, so we'll put it up on our SoundCloud page and we'll put it on our pages. So Sully, man, thanks for coming through. Much appreciated.
Okay, thanks, man. Hey, thanks guys for having me on your show. Much appreciated. All right.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take care, eh?
Okay, well, sure.
Don't train too hard, eh?
Take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, later. Bye.
So, yeah, thank you for tuning back into that was an exclusive interview, and that was Felise The Fob Father. He didn't even need an introduction. You can actually see a lot of his fights on YouTube, or you can even type in the MMA page, and you'll see a lot of his fights. And you know, there's a lot of like I said, you know, there's some fighters I come across and I meet online and that, but you know, none of them have the statistics that this guy has. So shout out to the Fob Father. He's a Māori East boy. You know, he started off at Medicare Magpies, went on to Māori East, playing topside and doing his thing, and he actually played Baraka for Otahu. He could have been a warrior, but you know how that goes. You know, the Western world it's just worked in its own ways. So shout out to Felise, man, that's mean as. Don't forget, he's got his gym down the MMA Pound, just off Andrew Baxter. That's the second street of Ascot, down just before the airport, now the Toby Jugs. And get onto the MMA Pound page and you'll know exactly what they're up to. And that was a dope ass interview, I gotta say, man. You know, and I wasn't even toxed, but you know, that was dope ass interview. So shout out to Russo, awesome man. So we're gonna get back into the music, 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 into the music.